Zombie apocalypse.
Hello everyone, AtomicDudMan here, and I'd like to welcome you to another
Nuclear News segment.
Today I will be reporting on the villains we could potentially face within the upcoming Gotham Knights. Also, in my latest video, it shows that 91.6% of you are not yet subscribed. If you could, please click that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. What this channel is really about is pure gaming news, game reviews, and a voice for the community's wish list of what we want and future titles of upcoming video games. I try to upload at least one time a week, so if you want to be notified when a video does go live, hit that small little bell icon down below. With all that being said, I hope you get to kick back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Warner Bros. Has yet to reveal all of the villains that will be featured within Gotham Knights, but these 9 Batman villains would be a great start. After months of rumors and speculation, Warner Bros. Games Montreal finally revealed Gotham Knights, a new co-op brawler that blends mechanics similar to the Batman Arkham games with action RPG elements. Since its initial reveal, Warner Bros. Games Montreal hasn't shown a whole lot of Gotham Knights, leaving a lot of fans to speculate about what exactly the upcoming superhero game has in store for players. This includes the villains within Gotham Knights, many of which are still a mystery at the time of the making of this video. But what has been confirmed is that the Court of Owls will play a central role within the game as their dangerous Talon operatives. However, it's quite likely that Gotham Knights will have many more villains available, including some of Batman's oldest and most recognizable foes. As far as old school Batman villains go, Gotham Knights has confirmed one, Mr. Freeze, thus far. With Gotham Knights looking to launch at some point in 2021 though, one has to imagine that more villain reveals will come sooner rather than later, and once they do, it will be great to see the villains listed here as part of the lineup. Here are some of Batman's old foes that could potentially make great boss fight encounters within Gotham Knights. Bane has been one of Batman's most formidable foes, infamously breaking the Bat by snapping his back. Bane's ability to defeat Batman in combat, not to mention his immense size and strength, could ensure that he is a particularly exciting boss fight in Gotham Knights video game. His use of Venom to boost his power has already been used to add some extra layers to Bane boss fights in previous Batman related titles, and so WB Games Montreal could take inspiration from those fights for a potential showdown with Bane in the new game. Clayface is not the most famous Batman series villain, but like Bane, he would provide a nice tanky challenge for Gotham Knights playable characters. Clayface's shape-shifting abilities would give the developers at WB Games Montreal some serious freedom when it comes to designing a boss fight around him, plus his abilities lend themselves to a nice story plot twists. Deathstroke played a prominent role in WB Games Montreal's Batman Arkham Origins, so the studio is already well acquainted with this character. His extremely impressive combat abilities make him a no-brainer for a boss fight in Gotham Knights, not to mention he has a major history with some members of the Gotham Knights team. Deathstroke has served as one of the main antagonists of the Teen Titans over the years, coming into direct conflict with Dick Grayson, who is operating under the Nightwing persona in Gotham Knights. There are even some of those who claim and label Deathstroke as Nightwing's archenemy, so it makes even more sense for him to be featured in Gotham Knights video game. Deathstroke has had encounters with Batgirl as well in the comics, so there are numerous conflicts he could be a part of that could make Gotham Knights' story more engaging for the player. An unlikely face to be seen due to the Arkham storyline within the Batman series is the Joker. The argument can be made that including the Joker within Gotham Knights would be a mistake. After all, Gotham Knights exists in a world where Batman is dead, and so it really provides a unique opportunity for the games to get away with the clown prince of crime. Then again, one of the reasons why the Joker is such a constant presence throughout all Batman media is due to how fascinating of a character he is and for his name recognition. Including the Joker in Gotham Knights would have undoubtedly get more eyeballs on this game, even though some fans may have had their fill of the Joker in the Batman Arkham games. One thing that should be noted that Gotham Knights has its own continuity separate from that of Batman Arkham games, so nothing that happened to the Joker within Rocksteady's trilogy applies here. In that view, Gotham Knights actually presents an opportunity to bring the fan-favorite villain back. Whether or not WB Games Montreal was able to resist the temptation remains to be seen, but fans should find out as more of Gotham Knights' villains are revealed to the public. Another argument in favor of the Joker being added to Gotham Knights is due to his history with the playable characters. The Joker literally beat Red Hood to death with a crowbar, and he did unspeakable things to Batgirl in the Killing Joke graphic novel. While the Joker and Batman may have one of the most legendary comic book rivalries, he is also one of the main villains for the rest of the Bat family as well, and so there would be some value to having him in the new game. Here's a quick shout out to my supporters and Patreons. If you want to become a member today, that'd be absolutely awesome. The link is down in the description below, but here's a special thank you to LJK1232. The Killer Croc has been a constant presence in Batman-related video games, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to see him return yet again for Gotham Knights. Killer Croc, like Bane and Clayface, would serve as a tank-style boss that could take a lot of hits from the Gotham Knights playable characters. WB Games Montreal could also look to Killer Croc's appearance in other Batman video games for inspiration on how to spice up the boss encounters with him in Gotham Knights. Poison Ivy. Rumors are already swirling around Poison Ivy that she may find herself in the game of Gotham Knights. WB Games Montreal recently released an image that shows a poster advertising the Flying Grayson Circus, which supposedly took place in Robinson Park. Robinson Park just so happens to be an area of Gotham City that has been associated with Poison Ivy in the past. Before fans get too excited about Poison Ivy being in Gotham Knights, though it may be stressed that it's quite possible just a coincidence and not a purposeful tease on Warner Bros. Games Montreal's part. But if she does find herself in the game, it's easy to see how she would prove to be a formidable foe for the Bat family. Poison Ivy's control of plants has seen her launch all kinds of plant-based massive monstrosities at Batman over the years, so perhaps the team will have to face off against her once again. Ra's al Ghul. In terms of hand-to-hand combat skills, there aren't many who can go toe-to-toe with Batman. One of them is Ra's al Ghul, the virtually immortal leader of the League of Assassins. If Gotham Knights' roster of playable characters included Damian Wayne, then Al Ghul's inclusion would be even more interesting as he is his grandson. Regardless, Al Ghul would not only serve as a challenging boss fight to the Gotham Knights players, but his inclusion in the game would be an excuse to add the League of Assassin grunts as smaller scale villains as well, opening the door wide open for more variety in combat. One of my personal favorite villains within the DC universe, Scarecrow. One of the most memorable villains of Batman Arkham series was Scarecrow, though not necessarily any combat encounters against him. What made the Scarecrow such a great villain in Rocksteady's games was how he used his fear toxin to make Batman hallucinate, resulting in some especially creative and mind-bending levels within the game. It may be a trickier feat pulling something similar off in Gotham Knights with multiple playable characters, but it would be very cool to see within the game. Something that could help Scarecrow leave just as big of an impact in Gotham Knights as he did in Batman Arkham games would be if the fear toxin impacted each playable character differently. For instance, Robin could have a Scarecrow mission unique to his fears, whereas Batgirl's fear mission would be completely different. It seems pretty complicated to pull off, especially since Gotham Knights has multiple playable characters and co-op, so fans shouldn't hold their breath. Though hopefully Scarecrow makes his way into the game regardless. And last but not least, Two-Face is one of the most recognizable villains in all Batman media, having made multiple appearances in films, video games, and more. Two-Face is just a regular human being, so he wouldn't pose a significant threat against the Gotham Knights characters on his own. However, though, there are plenty of story reasons that WB Games Montreal could cook up to make a fight with Two-Face more exciting. Perhaps Two-Face could bring some of his hired thugs to the mix, which similarly is to Al Ghul, would provide players with more variety when fighting the lower level enemies within the game. If you enjoyed today's show, please make sure to subscribe because 91.6% of you are not yet subscribed, and I personally love to see you around the channel more often in the comment section so we could talk. What villains did you want to see in Gotham Knights? Let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that tiny little itty bitty bell icon to get notified once a week when a new video does go live. Stay tuned for another
Nuclear News segment.
I really hope you all enjoyed your time with me, as I always do with you, your host, AtomicDudMan, and until next time.